Vort, and this is Kitchen Table Productions, a show about living well with low carb. Now, have you ever noticed that sometimes during the year you end up with more hard-boiled eggs than you really know what to do with? Well, even if you don't, I know of a recipe that will make it worth boiling up that extra dozen eggs. Now, it's so good you may find that you've eaten half of them yourself and haven't even noticed. I'm talking about deviled eggs. Now, deviled egg philosophy is very widely, as we're going to see, but first, I need to hard-boil a dozen eggs. Now, I'm first going to show you the best way I have found to cook a hard-boiled egg. First, I have here my dozen eggs in a large pot, and I'm just going to cover it with about 2 inches of cold water. Now, I've put my eggs on the stove, and I've turned it on to high heat. I'm going to bring this up to a full rolling boil. Alright, now my water has just come up to that full rolling boil. I'm going to kill the heat entirely and slap this cover over it. Now I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes and just let this simmer in its own heat. I'm actually going to pull this off the burner. Now my eggs are done. I've removed them to this bowl of ice water that I've had standing by, because it's very important to get your eggs to cool down quickly to stop the cooking. Overcooking is what causes yolks to turn green. And if you don't get them off and into an ice water bath, their own residual heat will cause them to overcook. Okay, it's been about half an hour. I've just finished peeling and washing my first half dozen eggs. There. Isn't that a beautiful yolk? I'm just going to break it into this bag. I've got a bag here, and I'm using this glass just kind of give it some structure. Hold the bag open. And of course, I've cut these legs in half lengthwise. There we are. There. Now, to my egg yolks, I'm going to add, per yolk, half a tablespoon of mayonnaise, half a teaspoon of brown mustard, quarter of a teaspoon of horseradish, pinch of salt per egg. It's about 1/8 of a teaspoon for every 2. And 1/4 of a teaspoon, if you can get it, of dill pickle brine. Just out of your whatever dill pickles you have on hand. I'll just take my bag, close it up. And now I'm just going to start squeezing all these ingredients together. One of the good things about this method is you can kind of feel when you get little lumps of egg yolk. You just squeeze them on out. It's like using your hands to smash them up, but without all the mess. Now I'll take a quick look, a quick taste. That's pretty good. It's always a good idea to taste the yolk filling before you squeeze it out onto your eggs, just in case you need to adjust the seasonings in any direction. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of squeeze the egg yolk away from the corner, take my kitchen shears, just cut off about 1/4 of an inch or so from the tip. Before I fill my eggs, I like to give them a light dusting of very fine salt. Well, just over the whites. I can come back and use my bag just to squeeze some out, some of the filling. Ooh. Makes the eggs very easy to fill. If If you want to, of course, you can put in a piping coupler and a fancy tip. I live with all men. They don't care about fancy schmancy. They just want yummy, delicious eggs. There we are. One last egg. Beautiful. And the best part is, now I can just throw the bag away. Cleanup is a breeze. And for that extra little bit of something, I like to dust my savory eggs with a little bit of cayenne. Just to give it a little bit of color and a little bit of kick. Aren't these beautiful? That's what I call a deviled egg. However, there are those, I mean you, Jed, who like their deviled eggs sweet. So now I'm going to show you my version of a sweet, low-carb deviled egg. Okay, so here's the other half dozen of my eggs. Just like before, I've cut them in half lengthwise. I've put the yolks, again, in a plastic bag, being supported by a cup. And to that I will add, per egg, 1/2 tablespoon of mayonnaise, 1/2 teaspoon of yellow mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of granulated Splenda. For that extra kick this time, I'm going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon per egg of a balsamic vinaigrette. Now this one is from Kraft. It's only 2 carbs for a tablespoon, which isn't bad. You do have to watch the carb counts in vinaigrettes. A lot of them are loaded with sugar. And 1/4 teaspoon of just plain white vinegar. And just like before, close up my eggs, try to squeeze out the air. A few minutes of good kneading is all this needs. That looks good. Tastes good too. Alright. Here are small lumps. Again, take the corner of your bag. Just snip it away about 1/4 inch or so. I'm going to skip the salt this time since these are a sweet egg. I'm also going to skip the cayenne pepper. You could still add cayenne if you want. There's nothing that says you can't have something sweet and spicy. And there we are, a beautiful, sweet, yummy, delicious deviled egg. Sweet or savory? Mild or hot and spicy? There is no wrong way to make deviled eggs. For these recipes and many others, please visit our website, kitchentableproductions.net. I'm Jessica Brevard. This has been Kitchen Table Productions. Keep on low carb.